Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at how tabseN defaults mid on Mirage, so let's get started. So usually tabseN will throw one of two smokes, so either the window smoke from next to the trash bin, this is a very common smoke, or he'll throw this one, the top mid one, and he actually likes to throw it from the center of T-spawn as opposed to on top of the trash bin. And Big will usually like to combine these two smokes, so one person throwing the top mid smoke and the other person throwing the window smoke. So what I'm about to show you is very special, and I have to bring this up. This isn't tabseN, but it's a very important detail on how Big throws their mid smokes at the start of the round. So Keto actually has a number of different lineups for window based on where he spawns. So right here we see that he spawns at this particular location here, and he has a lineup to be able to throw the window smoke instantly from the spawn. So let me show you. So from this spawn here, we're going to see that he can instantly throw a window smoke. So here's another example where he's at a different spawn point and he has another lineup for window. And again, this is a smoke that he can throw instantly. And here's one more. So what's the real value behind this? So by throwing the window smoke instantly, you reduce the chances that the CT actually has an opportunity to throw a Molotov at window to be able to offset your smoke. I plan to make another video that breaks down how these smokes from Keto work, so if you guys want to see that, please let me know in the comments below. So sometimes tabseN will tell his teammates to throw the window and top mid smoke so that he can keep his nades for further mid control. So with the top mid and window smokes, if certseN has a decent spawn, tabseN will sometimes be the one to support him, so he'll actually go into this balcony right here. And from this spot, he'll like to throw this flash over towards mid, and this flash will get anybody who's playing towards catwalk, peeking towards the top of middle, anybody who's playing towards the bottom of connector, and anybody who's playing towards this window area. So after tabseN throws this flash at middle, sometimes him and certseN will like to do a run boost. So certseN, you're going to see that he's going to jump on top of tabseN's head, and they're going to do a run boost to allow certseN to be able to cross towards mid. And sometimes tabseN will get his teammate to throw this flash for him. So right here we're going to see that tabseN is going to Molotov the bottom connector, throw a couple flashes so that he can cross over towards this mid area. And if you have your team hitting more towards the A side here, like Big are in this particular round where they have 4 towards A, they can also throw another flash like this towards this mid area to allow you to cross. So when Big like to do their heavy mid step, you're going to see that tabseN, he's just going to throw this flash that we've been talking about. And then you're going to see that certseN, he's going to get ready to throw a flash for anybody who's going to be peeking towards this connector area. And then Keto, he's going to be throwing a flash that's going to land on the other side of these boxes. And this is intended to blind anybody who might be playing up close. So with these 3 flashes, you basically blind anybody who's playing up close, anybody who's playing towards catwalk, anybody who's playing towards window, as well as anybody who's playing inside connector. And with all these flashes, it allows them to cross more safely. So once you're at this top mid area, you can throw a flash for your underpass player to peek towards connector. So right here, we're going to see that flash goes off. Keto is able to peek towards connector. Then he's going to throw a Molotov into connector, while at the same time, tabseN's going to throw a Molotov at window. And this Molotov allows him to control connector, and this Molotov here at window basically allows it so that this player isn't able to actually peek Keto as he comes up from underpass. So if you don't have that player coming up from that underpass area, you can also ask your teammate at top mid to throw the top connector smoke for you. And then at the same time, we're going to see here that Xanterus is going to throw a window smoke from the A side. And with these 2 smokes, tabseN's also going to throw a Molotov on the left side of connector, which will help them control the connector area. And then this smoke here at window is going to prevent any CT from being able to peek towards mid. And this overall just helps them aid in their mid control. More typically, you actually want your top mid player here to throw the flash at connector. So right here, we're going to see that he's going to throw that flash towards connector, and basically allows Keto and tabseN from the bottom sides to be able to peek towards connector more safely. So once you're in this position, you can ask your A lurk player to throw a jungle smoke for you. So right here, we're going to see that Xanterus is going to throw a jungle smoke, and it's going to allow tabseN to actually creep up towards this connector area without having to worry about anybody who could be playing towards this triple area. Right here, there's a bit of a gap in the smoke, so tabseN is able to take down Mantu. This gap is not intentional, it's just that Xanterus' jungle smoke will always have this gap. And with the smoke, it allows them to kind of move up towards the top of connector. So if you're at this position in connector, you can just simply get your teammate to throw a simple lurk smoke like this towards jungle. And with that smoke, it actually allows you to wrap around towards the jungle side, which is exactly how tabseN gets his kill onto Nico. You can also throw the smoke yourself, so right here we're going to see that tabseN simply going to throw that smoke, and Valde tries to peek him from jungle and he's able to get that kill. So here in this round, we're going to see that Keto's in connector, and tabseN, he's going to throw this smoke here and lands a little bit short of a jungle smoke. It actually lands at the top of connector. But with the smoke, it actually still allows you to kind of sneak along this left side here towards the stairs area without being seen from jungle. So this here is an alternative lurk smoke that you can do. So here in this round, we're going to see tabseN and certSaN work together to get ladder room control. So first, certSaN's going to throw this smoke here to cover themselves from the A side. tabseN's going to jump across the angle and actually path himself towards this wall like so, and it allows certSaN to actually peek towards this bricks angle, and that's how he gets his kill into MPK. After he gets that kill, tabseN is able to work in towards this ladder room area. So if you don't have a player working with you at the top of mid, you can actually get your underpass player to throw the connector smoke. So here's xanterz is going to throw that connector smoke. And then keto is going to throw a Molotov on the left side of connector to make sure to just clear out connector. And then as tabseN moves up towards this catwalk area, towards short, you can see that keto is going to throw a flash towards this ladder room area to allow tabseN to be able to peek it, to be able to get ladder room control. Here we're going to see another example. So right here we're going to see that tabseN is going to throw a flash off this wall. And this flash will actually push this player who could be playing at bricks off the angle towards the left side. And then you're going to see that certSaN, he's going to be standing from further back. He's going to throw this flash into ladder room to allow tabseN to be able to peek it. So once you're in this ladder room position, it's actually the best position to be able to cut off rotations. So right here we're going to see that big, they're going to put a little bit of pressure at B. And what ends up happening is actually one of the A players will actually start rotating over towards this market area. And when you're in this ladder room position, you have to be mindful of how the rotations are going to work. Because his teammates are actually putting pressure towards B, tabseN, he's going to be expecting that a player is going to be rotating through the CT spawn area, which is exactly what happens here. And that's how tabseN gets his kill into Mantu as he's rotating over towards the market position. So the same can be said if you're in this connector position. So right here we're going to see that big, they're going to throw a little bit of an A exec, so xanterz and certSaN, they're going to throw stairs and jungle smoke. And after they throw these smokes, they're actually going to rotate away from A. And what's going to happen here is that the B players on the CT side, they're actually going to rotate over towards this A position. tabseN, he can hear all of this if they decide to run. And from this position, you can see that he can actually lurk in towards this jungle area. And now when he's in this jungle area, he's once again in another position where you can kind of lurk the rotation. So here, we're going to see that big, they're coming back towards B. And then now tabseN, he's found himself in a very similar position where if the CTs decide to rotate back over towards this market area, he can cut off that rotation. So another thing that's possible is actually that you can get your upper B player right here to throw a smoke for you that's going to cut off the market position. So right here, we're going to see that this smoke actually lands right about here. So it allows tabseN to actually go through this hole towards market if you really wanted to. So there's going to be situations where your team, they're all just going to hit one side of the map. So right here, we're going to see that big, they're going to send 4 players over towards that B side. And your job as the mid player is to basically establish presence at mid. So tabseN is going to throw a Molotov towards connector. He's going to throw a flash at mid. He's going to cross over towards these mid boxes. And he's also going to throw a window smoke. And basically your job here is to establish presence at mid so the CTs don't know what you're planning to do. You're still faking the mid control. So the CGs don't exactly know that there's going to be 4 players hitting one side of the map. They still have to respect the fact that there's players at mid, and that's the whole goal of just establishing presence towards middle. So here in this round, we're going to see a really good example where this mid presence is actually going to hold this player at window. So right here, tabseN is just going to throw a bunch of utility at mid, keeping this player at window completely focused on him. And because of that, it actually opens up the opportunity for his teammate at B to actually take towards the B side because he knows that this player at window is not going to be too quick on the rotate. So here we're going to see that tizzy, he's able to jump out, and this player at window is very, very late to the rotation, and tizzy is basically already fighting these players in the site. So if we look at this from Mantu's point of view, the window player, you can see that because tabseN throws all this utility, it kind of keeps his attention here the whole time. You can see that tabseN even throws a missed top mid smoke so that it produces a gap, so that Mantu, who really is focused on this angle because he thinks that this player might actually come out. And because of that, it actually gives tabseN's teammates the opportunity to actually hit towards B, as Mantu is still focused on holding towards this mid area. So as the mid player, it's also very important to keep in mind what happens on the extremities of the map. So right here, we're going to see that xanterz, he's going to get double pushed from these CTs and he's going to end up going down. tabseN, he knows that because these CTs double push towards mid, there's a very good chance that there probably isn't anybody at connector, or connector is very weak. And because of that, tabseN, he's going to start pushing up towards this mid area. He's going to drop down towards the bottom of mid, making sure that he doesn't expose himself from catwalk. And then here, he's actually going to spot this player towards his ticket booth area. As soon as he spots this player towards the ticket booth area, he knows that their setup is probably just going to be 2 players towards the ramp, 1 player towards this ticket booth area, and there's not going to be anybody in this particular jungle connector area. And because of that, tabseN, he's able to just jump into window, knowing that nobody's in this position, and now he's in that position again where you kind of lurk the rotate. So here are a couple smokes that tabseN likes to use. So here's one for the top of connector, and it'll basically help his teammates as they come out towards this A area if connector is smoked. And this one right here is for jungle. And with the smoke, it basically allows them to be able to come up towards this connector area without having to worry about jungle. And that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more future content. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next one.